Alright guys, sorry about that, we're back. So we had to do a few adjustments with our frame rate and our resolution for this because we are having a lot of lag issues and whatnot. So hopefully this will work better for us now, and we'll probably try to run this from now on so that we're not using our CPU up too much. But we're going to get back into another Wild Assault video. We're going to a different one. This one's Hunters Chilling Videos.
On October 19th, Hunter Mark Stripmatter, 44, went hunting alone in Medicine Bow National Forest and mysteriously vanished. A year later, on October 23rd, 2020, a tourist exploring the area where Mark had disappeared stumbled upon his binoculars and loaded shotgun. Nearby, an unfired bullet was discovered in the Tang Pavilion. Another year passed before Hunter, Chris, and his nephew came to the Crow Mountains, near the park's border, for a hunting trip. There, they accidentally discovered Mark's backpack. Following this lead, search and rescue teams found his folding knife about 300 feet from the scene, along with various items like hats and gear. A human mandible was also recovered. Forensic analysis confirmed the mandible belonged to Mark Stripmatter, the hunter who had disappeared 3 years earlier. Evidence showed he had suffered a severe blow before his death. Even more baffling, his remains appeared to have been transported dozens of kilometers away to Mount Luke. On the morning of October 19, 2019, at approximately 5:30 a.m., Mark was last seen driving a white pickup truck to Medicine Bow National Forest. Surveillance footage from a convenience store captured him at 5:46 a.m., wearing a light camouflage shirt, gray trousers, a large hat, and an orange wool cover. October is a popular time for hunting and for people to go missing. But Mark didn't plan to get lost. He had a specific goal: to hunt a Sasquatch.
People are dumping their $500 pressure washers for this $50 tool. The results speak for themselves. There's a new breakthrough in clean.
Medicine Bow National Forest spans over 2 million acres, covering regions of Wyoming and Colorado. The climate in the park is highly unpredictable, with significant temperature differences between morning and evening. The tallest mountains rise above 12,000 feet, approximately 3,600 meters above sea level. The Cats Forest is not only rich in wildlife, but is also steeped in legend, particularly the enduring tales of the Sasquatch. Sightings of the mysterious creature have been reported continuously since the 1970s. Over the years, many park rangers have heard stories, and some even claim to have seen the creature themselves. Mark planned to hunt in an area known as Changi Campground, located deep within the heart of the park. He was well equipped, carrying a high-caliber rifle, a folding knife, binoculars, and a backpack filled with essential survival gear. It's clear that Mark had prepared thoroughly for this expedition. Mark lived with his girlfriend of 13 years, Carrie, who often accompanied him on hunting trips. Around 11 a.m. that day, Mark tried to call her, but she didn't pick up. He then sent her a text message claiming he had nearly killed a Bigfoot. Carrie, however, struggled to make sense of Mark's increasingly paranoid and eccentric behavior. She believed creatures like Bigfoot were nothing more than myths from folklore. That day, the weather forecast had warned of an approaching blizzard. Concerned for his safety, Carrie called Mark back and urged him not to continue hunting in such dangerous conditions. There was a moment of silence on the line. Then Mark abruptly hung up. Kelly tried calling Mark again, but was never able to reach him. On October 20th, Kelly returned home and realized that Mark had not come back as expected. Concerned, she went to the police station to check if there had been any reports of an accident involving Mark. Unfortunately, she was the first person to report Mark missing. Local police began investigating Mark Stripmatter's disappearance at approximately 3:44 p.m. that day. Instead of going home right away, Kelly drove alone to Changi Campground, the area where Mark had planned to hunt. There, she found Mark's white pickup truck parked at the junction of Forest Highways 801 and 803. By the time Kelly discovered the vehicle, it was already covered in a thick layer of snow. Inside, she found Mark's cell phone, wallet, cigarettes, and other personal items. The keys were located in the vehicle's mailbox, a habit Mark was known for. The only items missing were his shotgun and backpack. Kelly attempted to start the vehicle and found it to be in good working condition, with no signs of damage or malfunction. The presence of the cell phone inside the truck suggested that Mark had briefly returned to the vehicle before heading back into the forest. Following Mark's disappearance, authorities quickly launched an investigation. However, the heavy snow blanketing the mountains made search and rescue efforts extremely difficult. Despite deploying multiple search teams, the initial efforts yielded no results. It wasn't until a year later that a significant clue finally emerged. On October 23, 2020, a mountain climber discovered a pair of binoculars and a shotgun in the area where Mark had gone missing, about 600 meters from his vehicle. The tourist who found them informed the police about the condition of the shotgun. When recovered, the shotgun was loaded and an unfired bullet was also found nearby. According to authorities, the weapon had been fired at least once, but the final bullet remained unused. Mark's girlfriend, Kelly, confirmed that the items were indeed the same ones Mark had taken with him on the day he disappeared. Based on this discovery, police concluded that Mark had likely died. A few days later, a team of 12 civilian volunteers organized a search in the area in hopes of finding more clues or possibly Mark's remains, but came up empty-handed. It wasn't until a year later that the case finally saw a significant development. On October 16, 2022, the local police received a call from a hunter who claimed to have discovered Mark Strittmater's remains in Rock Mountain, a location nearly 17 miles from where Mark's vehicle had originally been found. According to the report, a hunter named Chris and his nephew were hunting in the Rock Mountain area when the nephew spotted a backpack on the ground. Inside were clothing and boots. Upon examining the contents, Chris found Mark Strittmater's hunting license. Police later arrived and discovered additional belongings nearby, including a human mandible, several broken ribs, and other personal items such as receipts and a folding knife. These were found within a 300-foot radius of the site. Mark's clothes were also located, but had been completely torn apart. After forensic examination, it was confirmed that the bones belonged to Mark Schrick. His remains showed signs of significant trauma, but the exact cause of death could not be determined. There was no clear evidence of foul play, although investigators couldn't rule out the possibility that he had been attacked and killed by a wild animal. However, it remained unclear what kind of creature could have inflicted such extensive damage. The police later reached out to Mark's girlfriend, Kelly, hoping she might provide new and valuable information. Kelly told them that Mark had once sent her a text message claiming he had nearly captured a Bigfoot. However, since she didn't believe in such creatures, she hadn't taken the message seriously at the time. She also recalled asking Mark why he would go hunting in snowy conditions. Mark explained that Bigfoot was typically extremely cautious and avoided human contact during normal weather, but would let its guard down during snowfall, making it the best time to track it. When asked about Mark's motivation for hunting Bigfoot, Kelly revealed that Mark believed she had been stalked and harassed by the creature. He claimed that while hunting, a large, heavily built beast had followed him down the mountain, even throwing stones at him. Mark had managed to record part of the encounter on his phone. Despite being armed with a powerful weapon, Kelly said Mark had been overwhelmed by fear during the experience. At some point, he became convinced that he had been attacked, or nearly attacked, by a juvenile Bigfoot. For Mark, hunting the creature may have been both an act of revenge and a way to prove himself as a skilled hunter, according to Kelly. However, police were unable to draw any solid conclusions based on her statements. Ultimately, Mark's death was classified as an unexplained, possibly supernatural occurrence. Despite the passage of several years, controversy still surrounds the cause of his death. The most widely accepted theory is that Mark may have died from an overdose of illegal drugs. In an interview, Mark's father, Mike, expressed doubt that his son could have simply gotten lost. Mark had previously worked as a forest guide and was highly familiar with the terrain and wildlife in the park. However, Mike also acknowledged that his son had a history of drug use. At the time of the incident, Mark was under medical care and taking prescribed medication to support his recovery. Police records support this, showing that drugs used to suppress withdrawal symptoms were found in Mark's backpack. Additionally, 2 other hunters later shared a detail that added another layer to the mystery. On the day of the blizzard, 2 hunters, Jacob and Cameron, reported seeing Mark trekking up the mountain. Concerned about the hazardous conditions, they approached him and warned that hunting during a blizzard was extremely dangerous. An argument broke out between them. In the case report, Jacob noted that Mark was acting strangely, highly agitated and unusually excited, as if he had been provoked or disturbed. One theory suggests that Mark may have been abducted by a UFO. This idea draws parallels to a case from the 1970s, in which a man named Carl Higdon claimed he was abducted by aliens at a campsite in Chani and transported to a distant forest. Similarly, Mark's body was eventually discovered in Rock Mountain, about 27 kilometers, 17 miles, from where his truck was found. To hike that distance on foot, especially through snow-covered wilderness at an elevation of over 3,000 meters, about 10,000 feet, would take around 6 hours without rest or food, an unlikely feat under such extreme conditions. For this reason, the alien abduction theory has gained traction with some people. A third popular theory is that Mark fell victim to a legendary creature, possibly Bigfoot. The condition of his shotgun suggested he was either hunting something or defending himself at the time. However, the fact that one bullet remained unfired in the chamber raises the possibility that something happened before he could take another shot. Adding to the mystery, Mark's binoculars and shotgun were found far from the location of his backpack. This discrepancy has led some to speculate that he may have been attacked at Changi Campground, and his body later moved to Rock Mountain. No known North American animal has the strength or behavior to transport a human body several kilometers up a mountain to an elevation of 3,000 meters. During the extensive search operation, rescue teams came across something unusual: massive footprints leading deeper into the mountains. These prints were significantly larger than any known animal tracks in the region, sparking immediate curiosity and concern among the searchers. Despite thorough efforts to trace the origin of the footprints, no conclusive evidence linked them directly to Mark's disappearance. Nevertheless, their existence added another layer of mystery to the case and intensified speculation about what might have happened to him. Some believe these footprints could belong to an unknown creature, possibly the very Sasquatch Mark was reportedly hunting, while others considered less conventional explanations. In the aftermath of the case, famed investigator David Paulides, who specializes in mysterious disappearances in wilderness areas, became involved. Paulides, known for his Missing 411 series, which documents baffling and unsolved vanishings in national parks and forests, interviewed Mark's girlfriend, Kelly, as well as others connected to the case. Intrigued by the strange circumstances and unexplained elements surrounding Mark's disappearance, Paulides chose to include this case in his ongoing research. The inclusion helped bring wider attention to the mystery, sparking new interest and debate among enthusiasts of the unexplained. Even now, years after the incident, Mark's disappearance remains enveloped in uncertainty and unanswered questions. It is a haunting enigma, much like the bullet that was never fired from the shotgun found near his last known location. That bullet symbolizes the unresolved nature of the case. Mark never got the chance to pull the trigger or fully conclude his hunt. Meanwhile, Kelly continues to hold on to hope, waiting for some sign or answer that may never come. The hunt that began with high hopes and careful preparation ended abruptly, leaving behind a story of mystery and loss that still resonates deeply with those who knew him.
Crazy, isn't it? Wow. That's some crazy shit. Wow. Just to know, like, just to know that there's, like, just some, like, but see, that's the thing, too. That's a good thing that, you know, there's people out there, like, searching for somebody, and then they find some weird prints in there that they've never seen before. They're like, oh, that's a known animal.
Yeah, right.
You know, it just kind of makes it a little bit more legitimate because of that reason. You know,
Finding you in pieces and shit miles away.
and not only that, it was 17 miles away from his car. 17 miles. It's crazy.
That's bad. That's really bad.
So it's not like somebody just drug his ass. You know.
Yeah, man.
They had to have, like, you know, did something to him and then fucking took his body and did something, you know, moved it. Because they're probably like, oh shit, we just killed a human, you know, and they're like, we gotta put it somewhere. You know what I mean? Because they're probably not fucking retarded. They're probably smart as shit. They know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Even if they talk like this, you know what I'm saying?
Right? That's just crazy, straight up, man. Imagine that.
Right.
Your last thing is seeing some weird supernatural being or whatever.
That's your
Yeah,
last
you're
thing
like-
you see, and you want to shoot the damn thing, and you can't.
You-
Because he wanted to. From what it sounded like he wanted to shoot it. You know what I mean? But then he's like, wait, that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what a lot of people who say, oh, I shot a Sasquatch, or I almost did, or I didn't. Like, they see something like, well, that, they think it's human. Just, like, has a lot more hair in it,
Mm-hmm. That's nuts, man. How something like that can happen.
Yeah,
You know,
for
like
real.
you said, it leaves to debate and all that, man.
Right?
I know a lot of people would probably held his girlfriend and can, you know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah, right.
hire suspects on that.
What's that one right there, Damon? The one that has a dog on it.
Yeah,
Ooh, Max Fear.
right here.
Yeah. We're gonna check out Max Fear, guys. Let's see what.
Hello everyone, I'm Max, and today I'm here to maximize your fear. So far, 2025 has been a year filled with many strange things caught on trail cams.
Yeah.
From weird unidentified creatures such as Bigfoots and skinwalkers to killers and to many other unexplainable phenomena.
That's different.
So today I decided to highlight some of the most chilling and downright horrifying creatures caught on trail cameras this year.
Oh, that was an alien.
Also stay tuned for a special and very scary nature clip at the end of this video. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.
What the fuck?
So grab your I Found Bigfoot coffee mugs and allow your fear to be maximized as we recap the scariest trail camera clips of 2025. The following disturbing creature video was just uploaded in mid-June of 2025. A group of friends were out exploring the beach in the complete middle of the night. They thought it would be a fun idea because they would have the beach all to themselves and they could practically do whatever they want out there. But as they explored, they made their way closer to a particular area. An area with a long line of big rocks that runs pretty far out into the ocean. But as they looked closer, they saw the silhouette of a pale human sitting on the rocks there.
What is that? Dude, what is that?
He zooms in closer and closer with his phone, and what is revealed is shocking. A white mermaid-like being is spotted, sitting still.
Mermaid. We got mermaids.
It has a human-like body, but we can see a light-colored tail where its feet should be.
Oh, okay.
The explorers didn't want to get any closer to the being because they were so scared, but at least they zoomed in and got this pretty good video of it.
Yeah, it's definitely.
We know this video comes from the US and probably from the East Coast, but we don't know where exactly. Now, America actually has so many stories of alleged mermaid sightings.
Right.
Stories of mermaid-like creatures have surfaced through colonial times, frontier lore, and even 20th century reports. For example, the mermaids of the St. Johns River, Florida.
So crazy.
In the 1800s, river travelers along St. Johns River in Florida reported seeing mermaid-like beings basking on the banks and slipping into the water.
You know?
Another good example are the California mermaid sightings, occurring in the 1800s and 1900s.
Yeah, that's why I like Max Fear.
Coastal
Like,
communities near Santa Barbara and Monterey reported recurring sights of long-haired, pale-skinned mermaid figures swimming alongside ships. 19th century ship logs even describe these sightings. Though modern skeptics attribute these to seals, sea lions, or hallucinations during long sea voyages. So honestly, we'll never know the truth behind these sightings. However, the fact that there are so many mermaid-like creature sightings all around the world, not just in the US, and they come from hundreds of different witnesses, it really makes you wonder. How could so many people see a creature with their own two eyes if it doesn't exist? And how do you explain the many videos of them around the internet, just like this one? So let me know if you believe in the comments down below. On May 20th, 2025, a man would capture some extremely mysterious captures on his trail camera. We don't know what exactly it is that he captured, but one thing is for sure, it's downright weird. Take a listen as he explains.
I did put out a trail camera in a corridor that I knew that a lot of animals were using, just to see what I could capture on film. I mean, if something was hunting, this would be a great place for it to hunt. Got a couple pictures for you to look at. Your guess is as good as mine on wherever this is.
The first photo shows a deer that seems to be on high alert. Then the deer exits the view. Then it comes back, but with it is a strange blanketing white mass.
Yeah, that's weird.
It seems to be in motion. Foul Mitten Outdoors says it appears something is attacking the deer.
Yeah, I would assume so.
And then the same thing is picked up in the next picture, and it seems this time there are 2 deer. But what could this thing be in front of the trail camera? Could it be some kind of visual glitch caused by an obstruction, like a spider web or piece of foliage or something? Or is it something much more disturbing?
Yeah,
Perhaps a ghostly spirit, only visible through the camera lens.
could be.
And taking a look at the next image, the ghost theory is looking more promising, as this thing looks downright strange. The figure almost looks like the skull of a deer or something, but it's translucent and wispy. I mean, I really have no idea what's going on in these photos, and neither does the uploader.
It's so wispy.
And that's exactly why he posted them, to try to get some answers. But so far, the answers remain inconclusive. Viewers are torn between ghosts and camera bugs. And I'm pretty torn too, I have no idea. I do think it's pretty interesting though, and I'm glad he decided to upload his mysterious encounters to the internet. Here is a video of what seems to be a real alien sighting. Some friends were looking out of their area just admiring the hills and mountains, an area that's rather rugged and remote. But as they looked out, something extremely tall caught their eye.
Dude, I'm telling you guys, it's not a fucking person, bro. Look.
That's a hiker.
No, it's not, bro. That's not a person.
That's way bigger than a hiker.
Bro, that's not. Oh, just disappeared. What the
Way.
Go, bro. Nope.
The video highlighted at the end of 2024 shows what looks to be an alien-like creature. A massive alien-like creature, just standing there out in the wilderness.
Freaking dissipated, dude. Yeah, bye.
But then it just suddenly disappears into thin air. One moment it was there and the filmers were seeing it with their own eyes, the next completely gone. You can hear them argue in the video as they're trying to figure out what it was. One of them thought it was a hiker at first, but then they conclude it's way too big to be a person. And I'm pretty sure people can't just vanish like that, so it definitely was not a hiker. And when we freeze the footage and zoom in, we can see it's certainly alien-shaped, with its large round head, skinny frame, and seemingly greenish-colored skin.
Crazy, dude.
It definitely fits the description of an extraterrestrial.
Maybe it had some kind of...
Now, I've talked about this before with UFOs, but it's said that these extraterrestrial beings and crafts can disappear and reappear.
Could very well be.
It's believed to be because of interdimensional travel and/or cloaking technologies. The interdimensional theory suggests that alien beings actually don't originate from distant planets, but from parallel dimensions or alternate realities coexisting with ours. These beings can phase in and out of our physical dimension, making them appear to blink out or materialize suddenly,
Just materialized into a whole...
which pretty much describes
Yeah,
what just happened in this video.
He's being some
It's like changing...
And cloaking devices would do the exact same thing.
freaking Doctor Strange shit.
It would make the beings able to disappear and reappear suddenly, due to light bending technology that makes them invisible to the naked eye. So is that what these friends saw this day? I mean, just imagine looking out of your window and seeing something like this. Definitely an eerie encounter.
It's alien looking at.
Here is an alleged dogman encounter caught on camera in Georgia. A man was out for a walk with his dog through the Georgia woods this
With
day
his dog.
when he had an encounter that he couldn't explain. An encounter that scared him half to death. As they hike through what looks like a pretty overgrown trail, they spot something huge and dark.
It's real good.
Show. Where?
His dog even knows. What the fuck? Scared him so that.
The dog runs towards the subject, and the owner reluctantly follows. Until boom, it jumps out right in front of them. The speed of the creature is insane. It's so fast that he barely captures it on camera.
It is pretty fast.
Slowing the footage down, the creature is extremely tall.
Yeah.
It's dark and humanoid shaped, and it runs on 2 legs.
That thing is
The man's reaction seems very genuine as he screams the second it jumps out at him.
Right.
Right after this, he and his dog ran out of the forest, narrowly escaping the disturbing encounter.
Yeah.
While Bigfoot is probably the best known cryptid in the region of Georgia, reports of dogman type creatures have quietly surfaced over the years too. Often in backwoods areas, hunting grounds, and rural stretches of road. Several reports have emerged over the years from North Georgia, especially in the forested areas. Areas like Ellijay and the Blue Ridge Mountains. Hunters and campers have described seeing a large, upright wolf-like creature peering from the trees or crossing roads late at night.
oh wow.
Witnesses often claim it moves with an unnatural speed and grace, and sometimes vanishes into the undergrowth.
Shit.
Sounds pretty familiar, right?
We don't live in the wooded area, you know what I'm
But
saying?
one specific report comes from a hunter near Suches, Georgia.
You're seeing wild
He
animals.
claimed in 2013 to have encountered a creature standing over 7 feet tall with shaggy gray fur and a face like a timber wolf. It reportedly let out a loud growl before disappearing into the trees. So could this video I just showed be another real dogman report from Georgia? Let me know in the comments if you believe in the dogman and if you believe in this encounter. Reportedly, a group of men were in Mexico. They were walking around enjoying the nature and scenery this late evening. But as they walked along the shores of the shallow water, they noticed a huge white mass just floating there, right in the water. As they neared closer and got a closer look, they couldn't believe their eyes. What looks to be an unknown creature is seen. It's absolutely huge, with a long torpedo-type shape to it. It has an elongated head, a wider midsection, and then a long, slender tail or legs at the end. It's partially submerged, and it seems to be a whitish color towards the top. But as you go down, it gets darker and darker, and turns into an almost dark grayish color. The explorers recalled that the strange being had a head resembling a seal, except it's more pointed and has larger eyes. And the body was too flat and long to be a seal.
Albino seal.
Yo, that
Seals are more
thing
plump
big
and
as
not
fuck.
nearly as long as this one.
Yeah, they do.
That thing's thick as hell.
The explorers all debated on what this could have been.
Bones and shit.
Right.
Could it be some kind of unknown sea animal that has never been discovered?
For real.
Or maybe some kind of mutated seal or whale, or maybe some kind of hybrid creature? No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't figure it out.
Like, trying to range it.
Some online viewers, though, are calling this a sea monster, like the Loch Ness Monster. Except it doesn't quite resemble good old Nessie. But could this be some kind of different sea monster? Some kind of beast that lurks in the waters of Mexico? The whole encounter does seem very realistic. Aliens. We've seen all kinds of evidence that they may exist. From videos to photos to detailed first-hand reports to so much more. Even the US government holds court hearings about aliens and UFOs. Because so many ex-government officials claim that the government is covering things up and hiding the fact that alien life does indeed exist. And at one of these court hearings, a supposed alien body was brought in and displayed by an ex-government official who claims it was real. However, I believe it was later determined that it wasn't an alien at all. But right now there's a brand new video circulating of a supposed alien body that was just recovered. And I will warn you, it's very disturbing. Here's the footage.
Oh boy.
Oh, damn. Whoa. That's crazy looking, bro.
Why is it not?
It's E.T.
What looks to be an almost mummified corpse is displayed.
Yeah.
It has dry gray skin and slender proportions.
How did it die just like that?
It looks like it's been preserved underground for hundreds if not thousands of years. The most convincing part about it though is its face. If this was a hoax, like a prop or some kind of art project, the face is extremely impressive. It looks very, very real, with yellow protruding teeth in the bottom and large bulging closed eyes. Could this be a real alien body this time? We don't know for sure because the footage is rather mysterious and new. I don't think any analyses by scientists have been done yet.
Yeah.
So if I hear more about it, I'll definitely let you all know. The video was just released on March 23rd, 2025, so it is fairly new, so I'm sure more details are on the way. But until then, all we have to go by is this video. This very frightening and unsettling video of a supposed alien corpse.
You always leave me wondering.
Taking a look at a creepy photo that comes from suburban Chicago. A man was inside his home in the suburban neighborhood when he heard some commotion out on his porch. So he walked over and got closer and saw something peering right back at him through the glass door. So he pulled out his phone and snapped this eerie image.
What the fuck?
Almost like a sloth.
What looks to be a dog or wolf-like creature is seen.
Look at that.
However, its head is positioned at least 4 feet off the ground, way too tall to be a wolf or coyote.
Look at the bottom right.
Some say it could be a canine on its hind legs, but these animals can't typically stand up on their hind legs unless they're leaning against something.
I see it.
This would mean we would see its paws or legs up against the glass, but we don't.
Could be.
Also, we see a separate eye shine coming from behind the creature in the foreground. So it seems there were at least 2 of them out there. Now skeptics are saying this one is too good to be true. That the picture is too HD and too close up, and that it almost looks fake.
I mean,
But believers aren't too sure about that.
I
It's
don't
a
know.
big ass window though.
Yeah.
Could this be some kind of mutated creature or undiscovered animal or something? If so, why would it be in a random neighborhood in suburban Chicago? Lots and lots of mystery with this one. I would love to hear if you guys have any theories. Let us hear in the comments. So here's a bonus recent supposed Sasquatch photo that was released with little context. The origin of the photo is unknown, so it's super mysterious. However, it was reported it was taken somewhere in Yakima, Washington, a very rural city there in Washington. As we can see, what looks to be a very tall and strong Bigfoot is seen approaching railroad tracks. It's said that a train was passing by in the late hours of the night, when its camera on the front snapped this photo.
Imagine that.
It's a super clear photo and it could be the most convincing yet. However, skeptics are saying the photo is simply AI generated.
See, that's a bad thing.
So what do you guys think about this one? Is there really a Bigfoot or perhaps even multiple Bigfoots roaming in the depths of the forests in Yakima, Washington?
You see, that's what
Let me know what you
that's what I
think.
say, it's gonna be so bad, you know? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's so bad, you know what I mean?
Now in one of my recent videos I included a bonus clip of me catching a huge largemouth bass, and you guys seem to love it, so thank you for that. You're the best. But I've always loved fishing, especially for bass. And recently I found myself fishing a lot, and that's why today's nature clip is one of my favorites of all time. A group of fishermen were out fishing for bass when something incredible happened. First they see a giant spider gliding across the top of the water.
Oh,
Then they realize a bass was swimming right towards it.
that's why I was like, look at this.
Going right through him.
Is the bass coming?
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh my god, he missed him!
Missed him.
Oh, he got him! I got the holy. That was cool.
Dang.
Such a crazy video. This is nature at its finest here.
Right, that's why I was like, freaking screw this, I'm gonna die on these.
The bass strikes the spider but misses, causing the spider to run for its life.
Only to meet its demise.
Then the bass comes back around for a final strike, and this time it gets its prey. Thanks to the cameraman, we all got to see this crazy footage.
That spider wasn't going nowhere.
The video was just taken in mid-June, so it's very new. Usually, largemouth's diet consists of smaller fish, frogs, toads, snakes, and mice, and small rodents if they fall into the water. But they do eat insects and large aquatic bugs, especially in spring and summer. So that's what we saw here.
This spider, dude. You don't even die from it. Poisonous spider, no doubt.
Now, usually when I fish for bass, I use plastic worms, crawfish, and other similar lures. But now it's looking like I might need to try some topwater spider lures if they even make those.
True.
But I hope you guys enjoyed and thought this clip was as cool as I did.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was cool. It was different.
Alright, I think it's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, go ahead and smash the like buttons, Mom. Let's aim for 5,000 likes for another one of these scary trail camera videos. And if you want to get to know me more, you want to see more of my spooky content, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Maxwell Fear, or you can go ahead and follow me on TikTok, Maximum Fear YT. And be sure to subscribe to the channel because only 30% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed. And be sure to hit that bell as well so you don't miss when I upload. And also feel free to check out my special Maximum Fear merchandise and coffee mugs. They're in the description down below. And shout out to my second channel, More Maximum Fear, where I post other scary content that you guys would definitely love. Alright, I hope your fear was maximized. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Alright.
It was cool.
Yeah, what's this, man? Oh shit. We're going! There we are.
That's cool. Cut to an intermission or something.
What's that?
You want to cut to an intermission or something? That's cool.
Oh, I was gonna say, we already did one stream for almost an hour, and then this has been stream for about another 40 minutes, so anyways, everybody, I think this is pretty good stuff today, man. I really do. We had some good stuff. That guy, that one with the guy, that was crazy.
Man, that is weird, man. Isn't
Yeah,
that
he went
mermaid?
missing, and he went like 17 miles away from where his truck was at.
Yeah, they found his what was that, lower jaw?
Yeah, it's part of his jaw, and it was like, that's crazy.
That's man.
I don't know, whatever attacked him, just, I don't know. It's crazy.
Man, it's too bad to imagine if something like that would be out there.
True.
Just rip you apart and carry one body to the other side.
Yeah, really. And of course, Max Fear always has good stuff, so that's why I like watching this guy.
Yeah,
Or all these dudes so far, but
Max Fear off the chain is, man. He does some good looking out.
yeah. But anyways, so we will be back. We're gonna try to hopefully do once a week. Streaming and having some fun on here and stuff.
Right,
So
yeah.
don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, like Max Fear said, hit the bell notification when we upload another video.
Right.
Even though we probably won't upload videos, we're gonna be doing live streams, but anyways, hope you guys have a great night, day, wherever you're watching from. See you guys in the next stream.
See ya. Peace.
Bye.